Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Unlucky Ones for Season 2. My name is Ryan. I am actually your DM this time around.
What?
So I'm going to pass it to Peter on my right here to introduce his character, tell us a little bit about them as a person, and then a little bit about what they look like.
Hello, I'm Peter to Ryan's right. I'm playing a character called Eugene Winkler, and he's a little sandy blonde, a little bit of like a strawberry blonde, sandy blonde looking guy.
Does he look
Not
scrawny
like
and
Ulysses.
strawberry blonde, a lot like
Scrawny.
Ulysses did?
He might be Ulysses. Not. He's a strawberry, scrawny, blonde, lengthy kid.
I feel called out. Hi, I'm Michael.
Wait, hold on. Tell me about him
No,
personality.
that's all his personality is. No,
He's a strawberry.
no, he's a history buff or self-proclaimed. He's going to a fancy school to learn all that,
Okay.
and he's looking forward to the war.
Okay.
Round 2. Hi, I'm Michael. I'm to Peter's right.
He is.
I already said my name. My character's name that I'm playing is Billy Radsmith. He is unlike Mr. Winkle.
Peter to my right.
He is a tall boy with a crew cut because they shaved his head for the military. You know how it goes. He is a little built, not like super built, but he keeps care of him. He keeps care of himself because he was a first responder before he came to join.
Okay.
Or was drafted.
Hi, my name is Thomas. I am playing Sammy Anderson, a 17-year-old boy who lied his way into the military. He has about, I would say, like a dirty blonde, more on the brown side of hair, calm, blue eyes, and he just wants to make a difference in his hometown. His hometown is full of miners and farmers, and he wants to make a difference.
Cool. And that brings it back to me, your lovely DM.
Oh, by the way, I'm on Michael's right.
And to the right, going in the full square that is the table, you have me again, the DM. Hello. For the second time, my name is Ryan, and I actually have a fun fact about World War I that I will share with you. Inspired by Samuel Anderson, Thomas's character. So, the youngest soldier who lied about their age to serve in the war was 12. I don't know how they pulled that lie off, because I was a pretty big 12-year-old. I was pretty tall, pretty wide for a 12-year-old. Right. I could not have passed for 18. The distinct lack of facial hair alone, I think, makes that a hard sell.
What country was he from?
Well,
The United States.
I was going to say, I wonder if there's a certain point where they were like, he might be lying, but we're just going to take
don't
him.
care.
Yeah, we need the soldiers.
To be fair,
'cause that's what World War I and II were like.
World War I wasn't as bad for the Americans, but I think it was more of they couldn't really do a deep background check at the time. So it's like, oh, I'm
But
ready.
12 is so young.
Or like he said, they couldn't do like, they need our help. Have fun, bye.
We don't care what you are, just
Try
just
getting
do
into
it.
the club at 12 years old, you get taken down.
By the bouncer.
Yeah,
Every time.
every time.
He's always packing.
But yeah, so I think without further ado, let us, again, for the second season in a row, take a trip back to the 1918s this time. So our journey begins in the city of Chicago in the year 1918. The Great War has been raging on for several years at this point, and the Army of the United States has decided that it is time to deploy troops overseas to help our European allies deal with the, I think they're not called the Axis powers, but they are.
Triple on. No, it was Access.
Was it the Axis? Okay, whatever. The German side.
They already picked sides by that time.
Yeah,
Yeah, we were the triple entente.
They knew they were the enemy.
Good for you. Good for you knowing that, because I read that in the book and I don't remember it. But anyway, we go to Chicago in the year 1918, where we come down kind of, if you imagine an overhead camera, it kind of zooms through the streets of Chicago, and we see a pretty exacerbated looking man who is in decent shape to my understanding.
A little bit, yeah.
Is he crew cut pre-army? What's he look like pre-army?
Pre-army, his hair is longer, probably to his shoulders.
Okay.
Kind of like I almost said biker haircut. Almost
a young biker.
Yeah, like an aspiring biker haircut.
Okay, so then we cut to this fine gentleman. He is wearing a white button-up shirt with a little cross on it. He has a bag in his right hand as he finally turns the corner to a large apartment building and walks his way up the staircase and enters his apartment. So would you describe what your character would do on like an average Tuesday afternoon? as you enter your apartment.
Sure, yeah. I think coming back from any amount of work, he'd probably, I mean, like everybody through work, he probably throws his bag off to the side and is like, I will deal with that later. And we'll go sit down and turn on the radio because I don't think he could afford a TV. And I don't think, depending on what time this is, there is no TV. So he probably would turn on his radio and kind of kick his feet up on his very stained coffee table. And it's like those shitty like plastic coffee tables.
Gotcha.
And he'll be like, all right, cool. Time to relax a little bit.
So you do notice as you came in the door, and maybe you were too tired to notice on the way in, but there is your stack of mail on the floor where they had passed it through the mail slot.
Oh, okay. Well, I might as well go through that. I feel like I got a minute. I'm gonna check through this mail.
So yeah, you kind of flip through the envelopes. It's mostly nothing of import or interest. You see power bill, rent statement. You do have a strange letter from the Museum of Not So Natural History, but it's not. It seems like it's addressed to your neighbor Ben. So you're just going to put that in the back there.
I'll probably slide it under.
Yeah.
I gave him handcuffs last time, I think too.
But then you see one from the local governing board addressed to you.
Oh, I don't have a paper sound.
So you open the letter, and atop the letter in bold headline says, "Pursuant to the Act of Congress approved on May 17th of 1917, you are called to service in the United States military. Please arrive at X day to receive medical examination at your nearest office."
Well, time to leave the country, boys. I see that. I was like, well, I know where this is leading. No, it's fine. Okay. I would be like,
So what's
oh.
So what's the emotional reaction?
I think
to that?
the first reaction would be like, huh, I didn't know we were at war. And also, secondly, is like, shit, I was starting to get things a little bit better here. He looks around at his very unkept apartment and goes, well, what day did I have to show up?
X day, like 2.5 weeks from now.
Oh, okay. I think with a mix of excitement for something new, but also somber to have to leave, he's going to go and call his friends. Or he's going to go to one of his friends' homes.
Okay, so what's this friend's name and where is his home?
Well, as you know, he is best friends with Ben, who is next door. Very close indeed with him. So I'll probably go say hi to him because he doesn't know many people outside.
Okay, so you kind of stroll over to the apartment.
Yeah, I'm going to walk over and I'll knock on the door.
So your friend Ben Bergelson answers the door. He goes, "Oh, hey, how's it going, man?"
Hey, did you by any chance get any letters today?
"Oh, yeah, I got this letter for you.
Oh, what is
It's
it?
a local library letter. It says that you didn't return a book you borrowed."
Oh, okay. I'll put that in my pocket. That won't go anywhere soon. I was just going to share some exciting news. I get to go serve our country as a proud member of the soldiers.
Of the army.
The soldiers.
He goes, "Oh, congratulations, I guess.
Oh,
Is this a good thing or?"
I don't know.
Come on in. Come inside.
I'll go inside.
So yeah, he kind of guides you over to the couch. And he'll like sit you down. He'll bring you a glass of water. Be like, "You look a little pale. Are you okay with this?"
Think I'm okay. I came over here because I need to collect my thoughts, and you're going to be my wall.
Okay.
You cool with that?
Yeah, and he sits across from you, and he goes, "I have just the thing." And he reaches into like a little pouch on the side of his armchair and whips out a tweed jacket and then throws it on.
Ooh.
And he's like, "Okay, I'm in therapist mode.
Okay, cool.
By the
So
way, I'm going to drill a hole in your head."
no, you're the one good therapist. We talked about this. So, all right, I'm just going to ramble through my thoughts here. I'm excited, something new to try. Also, it's like a new opportunity, somewhere good to start. I'm nervous. I've never ever experienced anything that has to be like even remotely close to war. And I don't know anything about like what they go through. Do I just get to go and get assigned like a spot? Do they just hand me a weapon and go forward? Like, do you know this?
He goes, "Well, I've never served."
But I mean, do you like have knowledge of it? Like, do you know someone? Do you know someone who knows something?
Not really. I can't say I know much about the army. I didn't join, and due to my bum leg, I really couldn't even be drafted. But
Okay, so like you don't know anybody.
not really. If I had to guess, I'd assume they probably look at what you're good at, I hope, and then maybe give you a role.
Wide-eyed, staring, Billy will say, yes, that makes sense. Okay, so if I just show them that I'm really good at certain things, they'll put me there.
I think, but are you, Billy, are you comfortable killing someone? I mean, you're going to have to shoot people.
Well, no, but, like, that isn't required. They just...
I think it is, Billy.
Is it, though? Like, I really went over it in my head a couple times, and, like, it's something that is necessary to win, but not from me, per se. And also, maybe not from the people I work with. It could just be... I mean, there are people that don't go out to war, right? Like, that's normal. That's completely average for people to just stay at, like, what is it? They do, like, a form of boot camp, right?
Well, they don't. Yeah, but I don't think you can stay at boot camp. I think you go either way.
Well, they need instructors, no?
Yeah, but I think that's like a later career thing.
Right. But, like, they'll understand if I explain, like, I don't want to go about killing people. So maybe they'll instead say, like, oh, okay, well, we can use you here.
I don't. And he kind of exacerbatedly looks, seeing that you're basically like having a panic attack on his couch. Be like, maybe, Billy, maybe. Yeah, I could maybe. You could maybe talk to them about that.
Yeah, okay, cool. And I'm going to stand up and I'm going to walk out and I will say, thank you. Ben, I appreciate you. And I will be back in 2 weeks when they let me go. And then I'll walk out.
Okay. If you need anything, Billy, let me know.
And then I'll close the door and I'll go back into my apartment. Actually, no.
As soon as-
I think...
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is after I leave his apartment place, I think I'm just gonna go outside. I think that's a nice day.
So okay. So how do you feel? So he's processing.
Yes.
Is there an end emotion for this scene, or do you think that?
I think after walking through, his processing will be eventually saying, you know what, this is bad, and then that will be his end result.
So you kind of are walking down the street, maybe fighting back some overwhelmed tears, not necessarily sad, as you kind of look off and you're like, this is bad.
It's good. It's bad. Then I'll just hang out at a bridge in Chicago.
Yeah, so you go and sit on the old bridge in Chicago, the famous bridge in Chicago.
The old dusty bridge in Chicago. We refer to it, for all the people who aren't in Chicago right now, we refer to it as the Golden Bridge. Not the Golden Gate Bridge,
yeah.
but instead just the Golden Bridge.
Great. It's because all the rust.
Yeah.
I'll say at the same time perfectly. Golden
Yeah,
Gate
we're
Bridge.
in sync. Okay, so then, yeah, you kind of maybe get a drink, something to eat, maybe nothing if you're really that shaken up.
I think I just stay at the bridge for now.
And you sit on the Golden Bridge.
The Golden Bridge.
Leading out of Chicago. And then, like a movie, our camera pans slowly up into the clouds, and the clouds wash over it as we see a modern suburban home. For you, I have less set up. So what would you be doing on a random Tuesday night?
It's at night. I'd be in my room studying probably. So.
Okay.
Just dates. I don't understand it. I know what they're doing, but I don't know the dates.
Okay. So you're kind of studying the usual. What class are you studying for? So 2 questions for clarity. Are you in a military academy? I assume not.
No. I'm
What are
just
you
in
in school for?
a history major.
So you're a history
right
major.
now I'm doing like an archaeology class, and it's the dates.
Okay, so you're looking through dates of major historical events and maybe coming up with ideas for like
How the civilization ended after a war.
the collapse of the Roman Empire, every boy's favorite subject. Okay, so you're looking through all these old documents and texts and doing your best to piece together your homework. I mean, it's homework. They know the answer. It's just your turn to learn it. And so you're kind of reading through it. So why don't you go ahead? We'll have our first roll of the game. That feels like an academics roll. Do you have academics, or did you take like a knowledge skill?
I took a knowledge skill. I took College Boy, which doesn't have athletic. Hold on. Ugh. I do have battle. Does that count? No, I do not have an academics.
We'll let you do battle. You're studying the Peloponnesian War. See how well you can do your homework.
If I remember correctly,
Ooh, big numbers.
that will be a 19.
Wow. So I will now give you, Peter, a chance to tell me any true fact about the Peloponnesian War, either of them. And if you get it right, I'll give you a Benny. And if not, I'll just tell you the answer.
If I remember correctly, it didn't end well for either party.
Gonna have to be a little more concrete than that.
I feel like that's every war ever.
You have to give me a hard fact from the.
Definitely probably caused by people wanting some other person's land.
Gonna have to be a concrete fact.
I need to study this in my book more.
Okay, so no guesses? No. So you're reading about the legendary Battle of Thermopylae, where Leonidas and his 300 Spartans made their final stand against the invading Persian army.
Am I allowed? Can I steal his Benny?
No, because you know enough about Greek history that I don't think it's a challenge for you. So yeah, you're reading about the legendary battle of King Leonidas versus the million-man army of the Persians, or so the legend goes. And you find yourself particularly intrigued with a battle roll of that height. You are more than just, you're reading the content for your class, but you are, as a person, taking in an understanding of how they were able to make this stand. So like everybody hears the legend or saw the Zack Snyder movie, and they have an understanding of how the battle went. But there's this common misconception that people think that they were just some kind of godly beings that were really good at fighting, which they were really good at fighting. But you understand from your reading that they basically shoved them into, they narrowed the bridge. They used the narrow passage negates superior numbers tactic. So you're understanding that. You're coming to grips with how that worked. And it's just interesting to you.
They had better armor, they had a lot better trained men, and they had strategy. I should write that down.
So as you go to reach for your notebook, you get a,
What?
Eugene, you in there?
Duh.
So the door creaks open. He goes, why don't you come downstairs for a minute?
I'm studying right now.
Okay, well, when you get a moment, why don't you come downstairs and me and your mother have something to talk to you about.
Is it dinner?
There will be dinner.
All right, I'll take a break. You know how hard it is.
Yeah.
College life. Yeah. So
I know, I'm a doctor.
I get up, head downstairs, or
So, as you kind of round the corner, coming down the stairs, you see your mother sitting at the kitchen table. There is no food, much to your chagrin. But you do see what seems to be a kind of triangular folded piece of paper, like someone would open a letter and then drop it on the table. How it would fold naturally. And so your father sits at the end of the table across from you and across from where this piece of paper is sitting.
you read my mail?
I think you should look at that, son.
Yeah, it's addressed to me, so I mean, I'll look at it.
So similarly to what
Billy.
Billy, thank you, what Billy had read, it says that same, pursuant to the Act of Congress approved on May 17, 1917, you are called to service in the United States military. Please go on X date 2 weeks from now for physical examination and take in for boot camp.
Oh boy, it's my time to shine. I've been studying for this.
So your dad kind of... So your mom bursts out into tears.
Don't cry, mother.
Inconsolably.
I'll be back in a week.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a man.
Your mother is crying inconsolably at the thought of her only child dying in war. Well, her only son. And your father just kind of goes, well, at least you're excited, he says.
Very much so, sir.
And so he kind of comes over to you. And he goes, do you need anything from us before... So any support? You don't seem like you're too upset about it, so I suppose not.
Sending off party. I think I need that.
Well, we can invite the two neighbor boys that you talked to, but I don't know how much of a party 4 people is.
They might be in there too. They might got their letters. They're excited as well.
Yeah, we'll throw you the best going away party we can, Eugene.
Thanks, Dad. I'm going to shake his hand.
So he grabs your wrist, and he kind of like soft palms into your hand. And you feel it's like a plastic piece of something. And as he moves, or wood, I guess, he moves his hand back. You see it's a wooden figurine that is yours from when you were like young kid. of Napoleon on horseback. He goes, I thought you would be more upset than this, but I'm glad to see you embracing this new path that life has laid out for you. And then he kind of goes, I want you to take that with you and just remember where you came from. And then he goes, you spent all this time studying these battles. I never imagined that you'd have to be in one. I always hoped you wouldn't, but we are dealt the hand we're dealt. So I'm glad you're not bothered, son. And he kind of gives you a pat on the shoulder.
I appreciate the gesture, but this is not a good representation of the battle.
He
Kind
goes,
of a bad look.
You've told me that a few times. And well, son, we'll plan your party. You can resume whatever studying. We'll have dinner in a while.
I got to study the new tactics for the war.
Okay. So they will, you're dismissed to go do whatever. What would you do immediately after?
Where's the food?
Well, they said they'll have it in a bit.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go back upstairs.
Okay.
And
so
then
you phones? No.
there's like we got the little like cups and the strings that go across the neighborhood.
So you string cup your best friend next door.
Jimmy,
Hey, what's up?
guess what?
What happened?
I got it. The letter. I'm in.
Oh my God, you've been talking about this for like years.
We've been both talking about it.
Well, I didn't get a letter, so.
Yours might be coming in tomorrow.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll ask my parents. Maybe they came today. Oh, I gotta go check.
Oh. And then I go into the other cup to my other friend, Billy. Billy, you there?
No response.
Damn, he might have got his letter too. Oh, hang up.
Just hang up the string cup. I like to think that you're 19 and you still have string cups with your next door neighbors.
I mean, how else were they gonna
Yeah,
communicate?
you can't go and meet people.
I mean,
You
yeah.
can't go across the street and just
They
knock
don't
on the
have
door.
Discord yet. Like,
We're not sponsored by Discord.
They're in a much better timeline.
we are sponsored by.
No one yet.
You could.
Pinnacle?
Maybe.
No?
Not
Okay.
sponsored by them
But
either.
you know what? You guys can sponsor this by giving a like and a heart, and also leaving a comment at the end of this video. Thank you.
Oh, God.
Segway.
Okay, so as you excitedly begin packing your things and reading through all your historical war novels and preparing yourself for this journey to come, we cut yet again to a sun-setting field a little bit farther south. I don't know why it's sunsetting. You're in the same time zone. But the sun was setting for all of you. Enjoy that. We cut to a sun-setting field in West Virginia as the camera pans through the mountainous valley over this small, almost farm field, and cuts to the one main street in this city. And on this one main street, we cut to an office that says U.S. Postal Service. And then in smaller letters on a handwritten sign, it says recruitment office. And as we slide through, we float cam through the office into the back room, which is a storage closet with a desk in it. We see a young boy who, if you could just remind us what you look like, because it's been a minute.
He would say before pre-war, he probably has, I would say, not too long of hair, more like mid, dirty blonde, but more on the brown side, and just like, well, he's a young facial features with blue eyes,
Okay. And so
and dirty because he works on a farm.
And so across from you is a older gentleman in his probably 40s with a clean-cut complexion and these brown eyes and kind of the signs of aging, the wrinkles and all that. And he goes, well, and so this older gentleman turns to you and he goes, son, you're truly a man of honor. We've been calling boys from all over the country to come here, a little less than willingly due to the demands of this war. And you coming here of your own accord shows me that you're truly an exceptional man. Your parents must be very proud to have such a boy.
Yeah, I like to think they are sometimes. Figured, it's weird because my father and his father before him and so on, between farming and coal mining, it's just I decided to change it up a bit. I read in the paper the paper one day that there's a war going on. They need people. I'm like, man, this is my opportunity to make a real difference with my family.
Yeah, and I see on your birth certificate here that you turned 18 just all of 3 days ago.
Yep, that is correct.
Well, we're proud to have you. So he kind of signs some papers. He goes, if you'll just sign here and here. Okay. He goes, so I think you're all squared away. Now, if you'll come back in X day, 2 weeks from now, you get a thorough medical examination. I will have your paperwork filed by that point, and we will have a bus here to pick you up and the other recruits, and they will be taking you to Fort Jackson,
All right.
South Carolina. That's where you'll be training with your future comrades, and then we'll get you shipped off to fight those old boys in gray once you're ready.
All righty.
I think it was gray. I don't remember. I haven't been
It's
here.
gray now.
I think that was World War II, he said. Don't worry about that one. It hasn't happened yet.
You'll experience it in a couple of years.
You're right the first time.
We'll get you across the ocean to fight those old boys. Bring and help our allies in need.
Hear someone in the background and say, "In gray,"
You stay out of my office.
The Great Beret.
but I want to join.
And so he offers a handshake.
He goes for it.
So this is roll a strength roll to give me or an athletics. Give me your handshake strength.
Damn, everyone's getting rolls. What happened to me?
Well, you didn't have anything I needed you to roll for.
5.
5. I didn't roll for the recruiter.
You didn't make him roll a spirit roll. I'm crying.
A 2. So you give this man a respectable handshake. He's like, that's a good grip, son. Make sure you don't lose that. And then
I've been
yeah,
practicing.
All right, I'm calling it at the end of the campaign. I'm sorry. This is what's going to happen. He's going to come back and he's going to shake this recruiter's hand again. And if it's not as strong, he's going to have to look him in the eyes and be like, "You lost it, son." And that's the last line of this series.
So you step out of the office and go do what?
Probably honestly, he'll just head home since it's about sunset. He's on his way home. Probably stop by like the local store.
Okay, so you get some groceries and head home.
Yeah.
As the door swings open, you see your father. He is in his coveralls. He is covered in soot, sweaty but also dirty. He goes, Sammy, how you doing, son? How was the farm?"
It was good, Paz. It was good.
Good, good.
I figured you guys might need some groceries, so I stopped and got them.
Kind of you.
Where's Mom?
Ma should be out back cooking dinner.
Can I talk to you two for a minute?
I don't see why not. This ain't none of that emotional stuff now, is it?
It might be.
Oh, God. All right. Martha, your boy's having a moment. And so, after a few minutes, a woman in like a rather nice dress, but not like
Yeah.
upper middle class dress. She's nicely dressed. Steps in and goes, "What is it, dear?" And then you all kind of, your father's already sitting in his chair, so she kind of stands near you.
I would sit if I were you for a minute.
She goes, "Oh, I can't sit. I gotta get cooking."
All right. He'll sit there and like, I signed up for the war.
And so your mom kind of stares at you blank-eyed, and your father stares at you narrow-eyed. And he's like, "How?
They allowed me.
No, boy. You're only 17. I ain't gonna let you get now over there."
Oh, no. It's no worries. They allow me to be just a messenger. I just deliver messages
Roll
to the front.
persuasion.
4. It's another 4. It's another 4. That's a 1.
Yes.
He goes,
All I'm
"Getting desperate over there, aren't they?"
Yeah, but I think they more of need messengers because I think most of the old messengers went to the war front. All I'm going to be doing is, from what the recruiter told me, is I'll be getting on a boat. I'll be taking a message from the homeland to the war zone, but not like the base on the war zone, not the front lines, and then they'll be getting someone else to run to the front line. I'm just delivering a message on a boat.
Yeah. He goes, "Whatever. I'll make sure since you're so interested in running off, I'll make sure your uncle's got a nice warm spot for you at the farm when you got back. Son, I was going to talk to the foreman at my work, now that you're done with your schooling. I was going to have you a good position. Now, why'd you do a dumb thing like running off to join a war?"
I mean, we got attacked.
"No, we didn't.
The Lusitania got sunk,
Boy,
and they tried to turn Mexico against us. I
you
can't.
listen to me now. The sinking of the whatever the hell you just said that's more than one syllable was absolutely a conspiracy carried out by Germans to drag us into the war now, brother."
I don't know, like, but it says right here.
His dad, Hulk Hogan.
Brother,
It says right here that like 85 Americans died
God
due to a
damn it,
German
boy.
U-boat.
You know damn well I can't read. Now,
And
why
that-
would you bring a newspaper up to me like that, knowing goddamn well I can't read?
Because
You go to your room now and think about what you did. I'm going to go
Alright.
have a word with that recruiter.
All right.
And then he gets up and storms out of the house.
All right. That was that.
And your mother just kind of stares there, and she's like,
I'm not in any danger.
I know. I get it. She kind
I
of,
just can't stand the thought of Americans dying without.
I know.
I mean, the youngest one was 15 when he died in that sinking.
She goes, all right. You go up in your room now and get cleaned up before your dad gets home.
All right.
I'm going to start dinner. And she just kind of, she's upset, but not mad at you kind of vibe. And she just kind of walks into the kitchen sullenly. 2 weeks later, all of you, collectively, not in the same office. So you will go to the doctor separately in your own respective cities. They will stick their fingers in your mouth. They'll check your lymph nodes, check your body. They'll do a complete physical to make sure that you're healthy. You all pass. Congratulations. You are all fit to serve. And at that, you are all loaded onto green buses that will take you, some of you a lot farther than others, to Fort Jackson, South Carolina. However, if the Army is good at anything, it's logistics. So you guys arrive around the same time.
Oh, excellent.
So the bus ride is different for all of you. But for the most part, it's a mix of people who are either eager, very upset, very somber, or just they don't care.
Somewhere in between.
Like devil may care, kind of edgy. It's a mix, but for the most part, it's chatting, it's conversation. It's a normal bus ride, like a field trip.
That's good.
Until
For
the
you,
bus
17-year-old.
Until the
Yeah, I
bus
know this.
stops.
What happened?
I believe we're here.
As you guys are assessing the situation, a man in a tan uniform with shorts, almost like a park ranger, enters the bus. And he will call out, "In a moment, when I dismiss you, you'll take all your belongings in your left hand. You'll take your paperwork in your right hand. You will form a single file line in the center of the bus and prepare to exit. As you pass me, I will hand you a piece of paper which has a letter in the top right corner. This is your group identifier. You will go to the area with the letter that matches the paper I have given you, and you will speak with the person at the table there. You will form neat single file lines, and you will only say yes, sir, or no, sir, from here on out. Do I make that clear?"
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, yes, sir.
And so he points at you, Billy.
Billy, yeah.
He goes, and he kind of walks over to you. He gets like really mean mug in your face. I need you to make me a spirit roll.
Spirit roll. I like that. I'm good at that. I got a 7.
He got a 9. So he leans in like within inches of your face, and you feel terrified. Like you have just seen a wild animal attack, basically coming to attack you. And he goes, "Someone here can't follow directions, it would seem." Now, I'm going to ask you again. Do you understand everything I just said?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, yes, sir.
There you go. All right. And he kind of walks back to the front of the bus. The other cadets, these two are wide-eyed, but you can't really see them. But so everyone else is wide-eyed and almost shocked that it is kicking off this quickly. And he goes, "Dismissed!" And so everybody stands up, and I assume you guys follow suit. Into the single file line. As you come up to the sergeant, Sammy, you are first in line. He hands you a small card that has like name, blah, blah, blah. Not your name, but it's just like you could fill it in. And in the top right corner, it has the letter D. And for the rest of you, similar experience. Unless you want to say anything to the drill sergeant, he will hand you a card with the letter D in the top right corner. As you step off the bus, you can see 4 large kind of areas. There's nothing particularly neat about them. There's 2 tables per area, and the one to the D is the far right. The one with the D is at the far right.
Oh, okay.
So how would you guys proceed?
Sammy would probably just go straight to D, follow the line like normal. He learned what happens when you mess up.
I'm gonna look at the recruiter, right? The guy who, not the recruiter, the guy that was like, use words, Michael.
The instructor?
Yeah,
The
that.
one on the bus?
Sergeant?
No, not the guy who yelled at me. The other guy, the one that we just walked up to. I can't think of his name. Why?
Take a second.
The guy that handed you the paper?
Yes.
That's the instructor.
Okay.
Same guy.
Oh,
three
same
of
guy.
them.
Okay, then never mind. I don't want to talk to him.
Okay. So, yeah, you step off the bus. It's kind of a mess. People are cutting left and right. They're trying to move quickly. They seem almost afraid as they begin going in each direction.
To D. I'm going to go to D.
Okay. So you kind of walk over, respectively, each of you, Joes, and conveniently are in line together in Group D.
He's all so cool.
I'm going to look just straight at the younger kid and be
I don't
like,
know that you can tell. 17 to 18 is a hard one.
I'm going to look at him either way.
Yeah.
Are you also excited? I say side-eyeing, not side-eyeing the other guy.
I think they're gonna give us
You
guns.
give him that criminal
He looks
side eye.
more of. I mean, I signed up. I wasn't drafted,
Oh.
but I'm not like excited. I mean, I feel like I have to.
What's your name?
Sammy Anderson.
Hi, Sammy. I'm Billy.
Hey, Billy.
I'm going to look over at the excited one.
The one that looks psychopathic.
I'm going to go and...
I'm just like a kid in a candy shop.
Yeah,
guys.
and-
It's nothing like over.
No, you're just giddy. But to
Overbearing,
them,
yeah.
that's probably
Yeah.
very jarring
That's fair.
So,
because everyone else is afraid.
what's your name?
Eugene,
Eugene. Hi, Eugene. Billy.
nice to meet you.
I assume you're also excited?
Most definitely.
Ooh, okay. Do you... So, what's exciting about this for you?
Learning applying all the tactics I've learned through all the books I've read
Oh,
on
you
the
were
battlefield.
Oh, you were studying this?
Yeah, I was a history buff.
Oh.
Billy, you seem a bit nervous. You okay?
You could say I'm fine. I'm fine.
I wouldn't be too worried. From what I can tell back home from the newsletters and just people in general, this war is only going to last about a week or a month. It's the war to end all wars.
That is the most comforting thing you could say to me at this exact time and frame. Thank you.
It's a war to end all wars. It's predicted not to last that long.
So a guy
History
in front
repeats
of you,
itself.
A guy in front of you goes, "Yeah, we might even get out of here before boot camp's over."
No, I wouldn't go on that far. I would
That is
say
the second most comforting thing
I
I
would
could be
say
told.
we'll be in Europe for a month at most.
Okay, well, you know what? I believe you. I follow you.
I'm just going off what the government says.
Yeah, and I saw Billy's gonna raise his arm and cross it across his chest as he slams it onto his his left pectoral, and he's gonna be like, "You have my heart."
And I do likewise.
Sammy's like, his country's like, yeah, sure, it's just going to copy him. Clearly out of touch with what you just did.
So after a
I think
bit,
most of the audience was out of touch with what I just did.
so as you approach the table, Sammy, there is a nurse that is sitting there. Actually, I think it's their physician's assistants. They're dudes. He goes, "Next." So you step up, you hand him your card, and he goes, "Alrighty, name,
Sammy Anderson,
okay, age,
18.
okay, date of birth.
I didn't study this.
What is 1918 minus 18?
1900.
There you go.
I was so confused for a second.
All right, September 22nd, 1900. He fills that out and he goes, okay, and he punches the corner. And on the card is nothing. He points into a area and he goes, "You see that gentleman over there? Tall, kind of old.
Yes, sir.
Go stand by him."
Yes, sir.
And so you approach the other table, because I said there's two.
Okay.
And wow, you got the nice guy. Hi, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, I'm Billy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Let me get that card from you, friend.
Oh yeah, here you go.
Sure thing. And so he's like, "Billy, okay, birthday?"
Birthday is December 16th, 1897.
1897. Okay, a little bit older. It's all right. Cool. And he fills in your age because I can't do math. And then he goes, okay. And he punches the bottom right corner and he goes, "So you see that that young fella and that older gentleman? If you'll go join them, that'll be your team."
Oh, okay. I will do that. And who was the guy that was yelling at me before? I think the guy that was on the bus with us. What's his name?
instructor?
Yeah, what's his name?
I don't know his name personally. And so he kind of looks over. He goes, "He looks like a sergeant, so he's probably one of the drill instructors."
Oh, okay. Maybe I misunderstood when I got off the bus. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'll walk away.
Okay. And then Eugene, as you approach, the guy is like, "How can I help you?" Or, "Fuck, no, I know how I can help you. Give me your card."
Oh, here you go.
How can I help you?
And so he goes, "Name?"
Eugene Winkler.
Okay. Age?
I'm 22.
22. And date of birth?
September 19th, 1988.
Okay. He kind of punches the corner. Go join that older gentleman and those two men over there.
Pleasurely.
So as you all kind of get there, Eugene walks up last. As you're crossing this field of hectic, there's a lot of talking, almost like a cafeteria, as people are going back and forth and getting moved in all directions and kind of walking in front of each other. All the recruits, such as yourselves, except you, I guess, seem worried or confused. And as you approach, he goes, and there's our last one. He goes, all right. He goes, I'm Sergeant William McAllister. I am both your instructor and I will be your team leader once we cross the pond. Our sister team is led by Sergeant Ethan Sullivan. Together, we will form the Delta Squadron of the 2nd Platoon of the Delta Company. Got that?
Sir, yes, sir.
Any questions? This is your moment to get to know me before we begin proper training.
So you would see if we were doing this by camera style, as it pans over to Billy, his arm half raises, like he wants it, and then he puts it down, and he's like,
What?
"No, it's okay. I'm good, thank you, friend, sir."
All right. What are your names?
I'm Billy Radsmith.
Eugene Winkler.
Sammy Anderson.
All right. Good to meet you all.
Likewise, sir.
And Billy, you're sure you don't have a question?
Yes, I am sure.
All right. You do understand that you're putting your life in my hands. So if you have a question, you could at least trust me enough to answer it.
Yes, I understand. I follow.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I mean, yes.
And so after a few moments, you hear a bugle sound off. As you turn your eyes kind of towards the horizon where the sun is kind of going down slowly, you see a man who is very clean-shaven with a very sharp complexion, like a very neat look to him. He has a very finely groomed... He's not clean-shaven, I apologize. The bottom half of his face is clean-shaven. He has a very nicely groomed mustache under his lip.
Oh, you're just
that is
describing me.
Waxed... Yeah, okay.
For reference, I don't have a mustache or a beard.
He has a very neatly waxed and cut mustache that is obviously maintained meticulously. And as you see on his right shoulder, or his left, on one of his shoulders, you see two metal bars side by side connected by two lines across the top. So as the people are kind of talking and the talking starts to die down, he, without a microphone, just kind of talks loudly enough for everyone to hear. He goes, "Gentlemen, gather around. I welcome you to Fort Jackson. Here, we will mold you into formidable soldiers ready to face the challenges of the Great War. My name is Captain Adrian Miller. I am the commander of Delta Company. So, from this moment forward, you are all my soldiers. You are the courageous men who have answered the call of duty, stepping forward in defense of our homeland, our values, and our loved ones. Whether you came here of your own accord or by a summon from your nation, you've chosen to become something greater than yourselves. And for that, you have my deepest respect. The conflict we're in is unlike any other. This unprecedented war will test your physical strength, your mental fortitude, and your commitment. The battles you fight will be fierce. The sacrifices you make will be immense. But remember this, you're never alone. You're a part of a brotherhood bound by a common purpose. And together, we will prevail. And your journey begins here. Your team leader will show you to your quarters and get you settled for the night, where you will get time to know one another and build those bonds that we speak of. In the morning, the training begins, and from there, we will make fine soldiers out of all of you. And then with that, everybody kind of shuffles as the leaders begin getting their men. Sergeant McAllister turns to you and goes, "Okay, let's go to our quarters."
All right. Off to the quarters we go.
He guides you kind of down the path. So where you were was kind of like a yard area. There's a big American flag pole, and off behind you are some buildings. And those buildings seem to be the barracks. So they lead you that way. Sergeant McAllister walks you kind of through. There's a large crowd still. As everyone's kind of funneling in, he goes, "This is building E. That is our barracks." And he walks you to these bunks. He goes, 13, 14, 15 are your bunks. I'm in 16. I'm right next to you.
Okay.
He goes, "The three bunks to my right are the other half of Delta Squad."
Oh, okay.
And so as you see a couple of men, so in bunk, what would be 17, next to your sergeant, there's already a guy. He's just laying there reading a book. And the others, you see another guy with 3 stripes on his arm indicating his rank as sergeant, march in, and then you see 2 other younger, technically you don't even have your private rank yet, so 2 other recruits enter the barracks.
Oh.
As they come over, Sergeant McAllister goes to another gentleman, a blonde guy with kind of, like a blondish red, with kind of 5 o'clock shadow, more rugged complexion. He goes, "This is Sergeant Sullivan. As I mentioned earlier, he leads the other team that makes up the other half of Delta Squadron." And this guy kind of turns to you, and he goes, "It's nice to meet you all."
Yeah. Good to meet you.
He'll extend a hand to each of you for a handshake.
Yes.
He goes, "I am Sergeant Sullivan, and while I'm not your commander, feel free to speak with me of anything that you need to, personal or otherwise."
Yes.
Me and Sergeant McAllister do our best to have a non-competition clause, as we call it. We don't try to step on each other's toes. We believe that we're all one team. He goes, "But when we get to the battlefield, there will be competition." And then he gestures to his right, where a kind of dark-haired guy is sitting, like I said, half edgy on the edge of his bed. And he goes,
He's edging, if you will.
you see a guy edging on the edge of his bed.
Ew.
He goes, "My name is Private Jackson O'Connell. It's nice to meet you all."
Nice to meet you, Jackson. I am Billy.
Nice to meet you.
Brad Smith. Yeah, sorry, I'm Billy, Brad Smith.
And then the guy who was already in his bed when you guys marched in sits up. He goes, "My name is Corporal Benjamin Reynolds. I'm just here in rehabilitation. I was wounded. So they put me back through basic just for
Hey, Ben. I got a friend back in Chicago named Ben.
small world." What'd you say your name was?
Billy.
Billy. It's funny. It's my uncle's name. And then the last guy comes over and goes, "Hi, my name is Sam Hughes."
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Billy.
Hey.
What were your guys' names?
Eugene Winkler.
Cool.
Sammy Anderson.
Hey, same. It's fun. Hey, that's cool. All right, cool. Yeah, yeah. And so the sergeant goes, "So, as you can imagine, I am in charge of tactics and strategy. Jackson is our dead shot, or at least that's what he says. We'll see how he proves himself in the rifle course. Benjamin is special weapons and artillery, Corporal Reynolds. And then Private Hughes has a strong background in technology, so he will be our recon and intelligence. What are your hopeful roles, we'll say?"
I want to be a strategist person, somewhere in like that upper rank,
Okay.
sir.
So you want to climb the ranks? He says, "You don't have to worry about the sir stuff, not when we're in the barracks."
Okay, yeah.
So am I just like, am I just telling you what I'm like good at, or like
What you would prefer to be if you had a choice.
not here? I mean, sorry.
Yeah, we get a few of those, son.
But I guess you guys need like a medic work, some type of like something along those lines.
What about you? He turns to Anderson.
I want to shatter the Hun. That's what the Germans were called in World War I.
What did you just say, boy?
I just thought you just said I'm gonna
No.
shatter the
No,
Hun.
back in 1918, the Germans were, instead of the actors, they were called the Hun.
The Hun?
Yeah. Hun.
That's classified information.
What are you, some Mongolian guy? What is this?
No, the Germans shouldn't. I want to defeat the Germans and show them that this isn't
I'm
their
gonna
world
play the
to
sergeant
take
real
place.
quick. We're not at the Great Wall yet.
He goes, "Okay, so you're a fighter boy."
Yeah, I don't want. The Germans can't take what they want.
You got a valid, vivid imagination.
Well, he says, "It's an honor to have all of you
Likewise.
for the evening." And then Sergeant McAllister will butt in and say, "For the evening, we will relax. There will be food provided. I suggest you get to know your squad mates, as they will be the people you rely on more than anybody else. It is worth noting, although he is not here due to circumstances, that our actual leader of Delta Squadron is Staff Sergeant Phelps. As I mentioned, he is not here. He is still overseas, but we will be joining him in just a few short weeks. Any other questions?
Is that like
before-
a hard few weeks, or like can it be like extended? I say like at a half attempt as a joke to everybody.
So Sergeant Sullivan, kind of like, I like this one. And Sergeant McAllister goes, no, it's a hard few weeks.
Okay.
We'll be there by the month's end. Or
so-
by 2 months end, sorry.
Is it true that the rumors that this is just gonna be a quick in and out war?
That's what they say.
And is it? I mean, I don't know if you guys have any experience in the battlefield, but is it as
No, they just gave me the sergeant rank for fun.
is it as easy going as they say it is?
Son, I've never been in an easy war.
Well, okay. Is it okay?
Oh, you haven't been in the Vietnam War? That was pretty easy.
The what now?
What?
How do you know about that?
Is there more wars? He says, okay. Take the night to get to know one another. You can speak with myself. You are, from here on out, at ease for the rest of the night, so you do not have to stick with the yes or no, sir. When it comes to us, I do recommend if you talk to other commanding officers that you still use it. Good?
Billy nods very fervently.
Eugene nods.
Like his head is going very far up and down.
Almost
farther than-
whiplashing.
Yeah, then he needs to.
Okay.
Eugene's eagerly shaking
Well,
his
then,
head.
for all intents and purposes, you're dismissed. Go get yourself something to eat and settle in. And then Sergeant McAllister will take off his nice helmet, or his nice hat, I'm sorry, and he will sit in, kind of like lay on top of his comforter on his bed and begin writing. I don't know, he's got a journal. He's writing.
I also have a journal, but it's a diary.
Help me.
So yeah, you guys are free to now roam around the base, obviously within reason, and learn about stuff.
I'm
as
going
much
to
as
the
you
armory.
I feel like I should follow Eugene to make sure he doesn't hurt himself at the armory. Do you want to come as well, Sam?
What time of day is it?
It's like early after. Well, the sun was starting to set, so it's probably like 6:30.
I'll probably go get something to eat.
Okay, I'm gonna go make sure Eugene doesn't hurt himself.
I don't think he will with how strict the sergeants are around here. But you
I
have
don't
fun.
know this.
Well, I don't know it either. I'm just going based off what I saw. We got yelled at on the bus already. So I figured if he goes somewhere he's not permitted, he might get yelled at.
Well, that's why I want to prevent him from getting.
Fair enough, fair
yelled at.
enough. Well, I'm going to
I'm
go.
already halfway through the door.
You might
Shit,
wanna go.
I gotta go. Luckily my pace is really fast.
So yeah, you kind of walk at your normal speed, and then in almost a moment, not too long, he caught up to you walking. Like this guy's got some heft to his step. When I say him, of course, I mean Billy. for
Hi,
everyone who
that's
didn't see
me.
the
I have the hefty step.
Hefty Steph Billy, right?
They call me Hefty Billy
No relation.
Not because he's big, but because he's fast.
because when I step, it leaves a mark.
Wow. I mean, everyone's got their talents.
Well, yeah. So where are we going? We're going to.
I'm just going to look at the weaponry if I can.
Okay. Well, I'm right behind
So
you.
which one of these tents do you think they keep that? It's probably really locked up.
Make a notice roll for me there, Billy.
Yes,
Probably the one that
sir.
says armory.
I don't think I don't know.
I can't read. Go to school, but you can't read.
I can't read. That's a 4.
So on a 4, you do in fact see a tent with a large armory sign out in front of it.
Can I point to a slightly different tent and be like,
You want to deceive him?
yeah, I want to be like, hey, so I think that's where they keep the weapons. You want to go check?
So make a persuasion roll. Billy, and you will make a contested spirit roll.
3 fail.
2.
But I-
So on a tie, nothing changes. So that would mean that he would be able to notice the armory because you didn't deceive.
Oh,
him.
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you he
You're
goes.
fast,
I,
but you can't read.
Oh, sorry. I never learned. I look away. Like nervous.
Maybe I'll help you. But I think we should go. I'm going to go that way. You can.
I'll come with.
All right.
okay.
And I go
So
toward it. Yeah, keep going towards the armory.
you enter the armory. There is a big gate and a guy who sits in the other side of that gate. He goes, "Oh hey."
Hey, I'm a new recruit, and I wanted to get like a 1-up on learning the weaponry, so I know my stuff. Is that possible? My sarge said I can go around
You want
exploring the base.
You want a weapon?
I mean, if you want to, I just want to look at the weapons and understand them.
So he just points to the wall behind him. They're over there. You can look at them, but you can't touch them.
Okay, so I go look
You
at.
can sit, well, you can sit here and look through the gate. I can't let you in here.
Oh well, I'll look through the gate then.
Okay. So you see him ogling the guns. We cut to you. So as you're getting ready to leave, you feel a hand on your shoulder. And Sergeant Sullivan goes, "You going to eat, boy?"
Yes, sir.
None of that. All right, you want to join us? And he gestures to his 3 soldiers.
Sure.
Alrighty. And so he goes, "Come on." So you guys kind of walk your way. He walks you across to the canteen. There's a rather long line as everybody is eating. So you stand in line for a moment. They pour you out a nice jalopy substance and some rice. And he goes, basic food. Didn't miss this. And so you all convene at a table as he kind of slowly digs in to his plate. You see the other soldiers like examining, like they get a spoonful and pour it out. And they're like, I don't know about this. As they start, some of them are eating more hesitantly.
Sammy would probably go ahead. Being that he's been a farm boy, he's probably had.
He's had worse.
Well, no, he's probably had dirt and shit in his mouth.
Ew.
And his dad's a coal mine, so he's constantly breathing in the coal fumes.
That's fair. He's not. He's
The
nothing.
methane.
Yeah.
He's not. That's why his dad's so angry.
So he just starts eating like normal.
Okay.
Clearly not affected by it.
So
Valid.
are we're
So
all
make a-
there right now?
You guys are still at the
Oh,
armory.
okay. Good. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
Like a what?
they're still at the armory.
Oh.
And so as you're kind of eating, Private O'Connell will be like, so, you want to fight? So you're here?
Yeah.
You came here on your own?
Yeah, I signed up. Once I found out they tried to turn people against us and killed a couple people of our own, I figured it's time to get payback. Teach them a lesson. They can't do what they want.
Yeah, got it. So, you good at anything?
I was raised on a farm, so I can pretty much track and shoot.
I was really hoping you'd say I could do anything.
Nah,
I was raised on a farm.
Hunting was I provided food with hunting wise, so I'm decent with a rifle. Not the best, but decent.
Yeah, all right. I don't know if you're quite that good with it, but we'll see. And as he kind of awkwardly slumps back to his food, the other coming up to you is the guy I described earlier, the one corporal of the team. As he kind of sits and he goes, "Man, I really did not miss Basics food." He goes, I don't think I'm gonna eat this." He goes, he looks kind of cautiously around. He goes, "I got something." So he pulls out of his bag a container of what I hope existed at this point, M&Ms. I think they did. I think this is when they made them. And so he gives you either chocolate balls or M&Ms, depending on what exists.
It was more likely.
Balls of
Hershey's
nondescript
existed.
chocolate balls.
Hershey's was 1903.
P and N's.
There you go.
And they're not Hershey's, it's Hishies.
Hershey's
because-
existed
yeah,
1903.
Not sponsored either.
We're not sponsored by anyone we mentioned.
But you
Yes.
can sponsor
All right, now.
us by liking.
you can quit that for the second time.
He said, we didn't chill before. We're doing it now.
Okay, so yeah, he pulls out some little chocolate balls. He's like, "Take them quickly before the drill sergeant see."
Something like, take them.
So you take one and you eat it. And it's probably one. You're a farmer's and a miner's son from West Virginia, so I don't know how much candy you had prior to this. It's probably the sweetest thing you've ever eaten.
Yeah.
But you see the other soldiers kind of gratefully take one, except Private O'Connell, who slowly takes one and eats it slowly like a sloth. And then Private Hughes is like, "Are we gonna get in
I
trouble?
was just trouble.
Get in trouble."
Candy.
And the corporal goes, "Yeah, you're not really supposed to have anything else during boot camp.
Okay.
I got these in a French village back before I got wounded."
All right.
And then Private Hughes is like, "What? Are we gonna get in trouble? They're gonna kick us out?"
I'm gonna look. I'm like, hey, you don't want to get caught. Shit.
"Hey, man, look, his is still on the middle of the table." He's like, I don't know if I can."
Just listen. There's one thing I learned. On anywhere, if you don't want to get caught, just do it quick,
"Okay.
like a
okay.
Band-Aid.
Yeah. And so he reaches his hand into the middle of the table, spills all of the drinks over and knocks a tray on the floor, and then quickly shoves it in his mouth. And so everybody kind of looks at you guys. And so the corporal kind of lowers his head and like raises his hand over his eyes. And so you see the drill sergeant start walking towards your table. He comes up, he goes, "What's going on over here?"
We were just fooling around,
Jeez.
trying to bring light into the mood before basic kicks off.
I see. Is the mood not light enough for you?
No,
Is
sir.
serving your country not an honorable enough thing for you?
No, sir. I'm just trying to ease everyone's nerves before basic kicks
So it was
in.
you that was making all this noise.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I can give you that you're an honest man or a good liar. Why don't you give me 50 push-ups?
Yes,
Make
sir.
an athletics roll.
What about $50?
Why don't you give me $50?
That seems about right.
4.
That's 4 push-ups.
Jesus.
He goes, okay, 50 was so easy. Why don't you do another 50? So make an athletics roll -1.
11.
He goes, oh, okay. Since 100 was so easy, why don't you give me 50 more?
-2.
Come on,
Yeah.
fucking win!
2. I'm gonna
You
say
take a level of fatigue as you collapse on the 87. He goes, yeah, not so tough now. Now, why don't you think about that before you keep making ruckus? And then he walks off before you can answer.
I'm gonna sit back down.
So Private Hughes goes, thanks, man. I couldn't have done 87 push-ups.
I don't know how I did, honestly. It was like a magic act of God or something.
And so Sullivan, the sergeant, goes, well done. So yeah, you'll finish your food. I assume at some point you guys will join for dinner. So after Eugene takes a mental inventory of every rifle on the wall and recalls, why don't you roll me a battle, see how much you can... yeah, I'll give you battle. See how much you can recall about modern infantry weaponry.
And just like before, whatever the number is, that's how many things you have to recall. That's 8. You have to recall 8 facts. Now, go.
Modern or back then modern?
By then modern. So you're interested because you've read about weapons. You read about the 1903 Springfield, which is the current standard issue rifle. You see the 1911, which is at this point a fairly new pistol. You see a couple of other, the Lewis gun, which I think was British, so it's borrowed. You see the Browning automatic rifle. It's pretty interesting for you. You see some mortar tubes that you can
Someone got
recognize.
a flintlock.
The also coveted trench gun that has yet to be deployed, I think.
I hope they give me that one.
And at some point, the armor master goes, hey, look, man, I'll be honest, I didn't expect you to stand here this long, but I do have to close the door.
So you got a nice selection here for us.
Yeah.
So Billy's gonna be like walking out, like tugging on like Eugene's shirt, and be like, "Hey, man, let's we can come back. We'll come back tomorrow."
Do you think that trench gun
No,
there
it's
is
o- it's
standard,
okay, come
standard
on.
order?
Just come with me.
standard
Just,
order? He's dragging me off.
Thank you. And then the door kind of shuts as you hear the locks. Not like aggressively, but they start to lock. So it's probably closer to 8 o'clock now.
But as we go back, Eugene's gonna turn to Billy. He's like, "Those are cool guns. You use guns?
No, I haven't touched.
They got these nice firing mechanisms. I think it's even better than the flintlock. Mm-hmm. You can. There's like a little. Some guns is clips. Some's a magazine. They haven't really quite decided that yet. But
yeah, magazines. That makes sense.
yeah. And then you put it in the gun, and you can shoot more bullets and just reload it one at a time.
Okay, I'm following. Yeah, you sound like you know what you're talking about.
I do. Do I?
No.
I don't know if magazine-fed weapons were a thing yet, but
Yes, it was. It was like the car.
yeah, it was the car. It was the clip. It was the,
clip.
top
Yeah.
loading cartridge.
But if your guy's still stuck on flintlocks, he's still stuck.
Yeah, I was
on-
gonna say that part. You were like, they're much better than the flintlock.
I mean,
was
back
like,
then they
My
had
dad
the
has.
they had the repeaters at that point.
they had
My dad's got my lever action,
Six shooters.
and I got
mean,
my Red
Look,
Ryder
he's from Rhode
BB
Island.
gun.
He's never seen a gun.
They're not allowed to have guns there.
They were at the time, but
Yeah, but
okay.
So, as we walk into the mess tent, I'm going to look at the food that's like slop, and I'm going to be like, "Oh my God, it's Chicago slop! My favorite."
I'll give you a Benny for that one. I enjoy the Chicago slop.
I'm gonna like, oh, he's making a racket. Here we go.
So yeah, you see the rest of Delta Squad minus Sergeant McAllister sitting over. Sergeant Sullivan's there. Your Sergeant McAllister is not there.
Oh, come on, Eugene. Let's go join them.
if you squint enough, you can see meatloaf.
Yeah, that's
You
what they
had-
make the broth
You don't
out
have
of.
glasses, right?
No.
You should have. That would have been perfect.
That's what they make the broth out of. In
Sure,
Chicago
really,
slop,
really-
they make it out of meatloaf. They grind it to a fine paste.
What color is the slop? Is it gray? Or-
No, it's like a reddish.
yeah, there's
It's
ketchup in
rare.
there.
It's rare meatloaf.
I don't think we should be eating this.
Okay, I'm joining Delta.
So you join Delta Squad, your squad.
Why is there a mess over here?
No, I would think it's cleaned up by now.
Yeah.
Oh,
What are you talking
So
about?
as you sit,
I'm schizo. Sorry.
Sergeant Sullivan goes, the two wanderers. How was your journey?
I learned so much. I feel like I've obtained so little.
Okay.
That was very philosophical.
Thank you, Socrates. How about you?
Hard to follow. I learned what he learned, but
Gotcha.
So little.
less of what he learned.
Okay, good.
So what happened here? Anything good while we were gone? Say,
so-
looking around, trying to defuse the situation.
Private O'Connell, the sharpshooter, goes, well, Dumbo there decided to piss off the drill sergeant and had to do 87 push-ups, but
You did 87 push-ups?
I did 187.
Weak shit.
I'd like to see you do more.
All right, let's go.
he goes,
That's a challenge in my book.
so that was fun. And then Corporal Reynolds there almost got us all in trouble.
I was to look at him.
So Corporal Reynolds is like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I wasn't here, so.
Anyway, what are you guys up to?
Gonna eat this meatloaf. I'm like squint enough. It looks like meatloaf. Oh, it's really gross.
That was a gross sound.
It's like a.
Sorry.
No, you're
Watching
good.
you gag
It's
down
just-
the
It's probably like a jelly paste.
It's good for our body, I hope.
It's like a pork pie. Gross.
It's got a jelly taste to it.
reminds me of my mother's cooking.
Poor
sorry.
mom. So yeah, as you guys kind of join them, they're all done kind of eating at this point, but they'll hang out for the camaraderie. So he goes, okay, so you're weird. What about you?
Ouch.
As he points to Billy.
What about me? Hi, man.
Hey. So he gives you like a half cocked smile. He's like, so what's your deal?
I guess what your deal is. I'm drafted. I'm here. I'm hanging
Well, I wasn't
out.
drafted, but fair.
Well,
It's actually my second tour.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, congratulations? Question mark.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I'm just.
What was it like?
What was what like?
The first tour.
So everyone knows, Peter just gave Ryan like the wide eye, like I'm obsessed with you stare, and that's how I imagine Eugene looked at this guy.
And
Corporal
aspiration and all.
Corporal Reynolds will go, well, I guess you could say it went good. I only spent the last part of it in active combat. I mean, we didn't join the war until recently. He goes, so I was with the American Expeditionary Force as we traveled across the sea. I was served under Commander Pershing, who I still serve under at this point, and so will you. We landed in France. We had a pretty fun landing, we'll say. I learned that Lieutenant Pershing is probably insane, or Commander. I don't remember his rank. Might have been General. The guy who led us,
Good to
Pershing,
know.
John J. Pershing, I think is insane. Because as we were walking through the forest on our way to meet with our French allies, they came running at us. And then their commanding officer said something to Pershing, which Pershing does not speak French, so that's fun. And then when he wrote it down, I believe it was a retreat order, to which the commander responded, no, basically. He said, we just got here. And we did just get there. So we went and fought the Germans in the French trench, which was fun. I gotta say, beautiful countryside, rolling hills, until I got stabbed in the side by a bayonet. That was less fun. Not as bad as some of the stuff I've gotten up to before. Better than the food, still not fun.
Appreciate your service and continued service.
I don't
Yeah.
know. This food's pretty good.
True mom, man.
He goes, so I guess good? He goes, I'm just glad I can get back on the horse.
Can I see the scar?
Not at the dinner table.
Oh, later. All right. Thank you.
You gotta buy him some wine first if you want him to show
Yeah,
you.
give me a few drinks.
Is there
and maybe
is there
we'll
wine on here? My parents
No, you're
didn't
not
let me
allowed to
drink.
drink.
I'm 22.
tell- Really?
Yeah.
10.
It runs in the family, I think.
So,
10-year-oldism?
well, he goes, I hope your guys are ready. Basics, something.
I think I'm ready.
I hope you're ready.
I think so.
So he kind of stands up and has like a little pack of his old cigarettes there. He's kind of like, I'm going to step outside.
Okay. Look at my fellow squad mates and go, I'm gonna take a nap, I think. And I'm gonna stand up and go, nice meeting you guys.
How'd you finish this food?
Oh, well, it's easy. You take a spoon and you like insert it into your mouth over and over again.
you
You
want
don't
to-
really have to chew.
Yeah, it just slides down.
Oh, that's how you do it. Oh, this is easier.
Yeah.
The swallow
You'll find the paste actually lines the throat, so when it rolls, the actual chunks roll down.
It clears up my throat.
Okay. So yeah, as the night kind of concludes, you'll all find your way back to your bunks as you go to sleep for the first time since you've arrived. And then, as you're all deep in slumber, you're interrupted by that classic army trumpet sound. as you hear the voice of your sergeant, Sergeant McAllister, say, "All right, up and at 'em. Make your beds, put on your uniform, and be outside in 10 minutes."
So dark.
So, like a true alarm, the
what time
first
is
thing
it?
Billy does is roll back over.
What time is it?
Pull up the sheet.
What time is it?
Time probably like 5:30.
Okay, I'm used to
Gotta
this.
get up.
My guy's getting up, like, he's sitting there tying his shoes.
Are you used to this?
By making his bed. He looks over at Billy like, oh, son of a bitch. He's going to walk over and be like, hey, wake up.
Go away, Sam.
Like,
I'm
if you...
busy.
What? No.
Guys,
We don't-
I forgot how
I'm
you're
gonna-
supposed to fold the blankets.
I'm going to...
They check
Just
this.
Go to sleep.
I'm going to, like, what's around me?
Like trunk, like normal bed stuff. There's probably a trunk, another bed,
Another trunk.
another trunk, an end table maybe.
It's dark in here.
I'm just going to, like... I'm going to attempt to pull him off the bed.
Okay, make us athletics. And if you want to try to stay in bed, we'll have you make a contested strike.
I don't think
roll.
he knows it's happening, so I'm
4.
Oh, fuck.
You got, like, 5 minutes to get ready for your ass to get your ass
It
grass.
hurts.
And I'm going to... My bed, I would say, is kind of basically made at this point. So he's going to walk over to him and help him.
Sammy,
Yeah,
right? How?
Here, wake the fuck up.
I'm up. I gotta put the bed
Okay,
together.
watch. I'm going to show him how to put the bed together.
The Chicago slop really hurts my head in the morning.
The Chicago slop sounds so much worse than what you made it.
I made it sound worse in my head.
That's the best laugh I got out of
Editing
Peter in
Mike
a
will
long
keep
time.
that in there.
The Chicago slop. Golden.
Scene. All right.
So, Sam, you do a good job of getting his bed in order, your bed's in order. I will need you to make an athletics -2, though, because you're trying to do basically two people's job.
Athletics -3.
Oh, he slept, right?
No, he's going to be like
6.
muscle fatigue. 6. So you managed to make both beds pretty well. I mean, within standard. Billy, you're still on the floor?
Yeah, I think after coming up, I'll probably get up and like crawl back into bed for a second.
I'm gonna look over. You got like 3 minutes, and is everyone starting to shuffle out the door?
Yeah, so the barracks is starting to clear out.
Are you even in your uniform?
I'm already ready.
Yeah, I assume he was in his uniform.
I just didn't know how to put
He
the
fell
bed
asleep
together.
in the uniform. He put the cap on
you
as
got-
a fucking like.
I was supposed to take it
You got
off.
3 minutes to get ready.
Hey, I'll be out there in a minute, Sam.
Okay. I'm gonna
It's on him now.
Is the barracks empty?
Come on, they're gonna give us our guns.
Mostly, yeah.
I'm gonna walk out there.
I'm skipping out.
Okay. So you guys line up. As you go outside, you see the soldiers lining up in rows of 10.
Is he actually out there now? No,
Who?
it's not.
Billy's still in bed.
On the floor.
After some time, you'll see you guys are in rows of 10 with your sergeant by your side.
9.
And your row is indeed missing one. And so the drill sergeant comes up and goes, "Where's your comrade?"
Sir, sleeping, sir.
We woke him up, sir.
And you left him there?
He got back in the bed, sir.
He would not cooperate, sir. I've tried everything in my power, sir.
Likely. And so he goes into the barracks.
Sleeping noises.
And so I need you to, well, you're asleep, so.
I can roll something anyway.
Yeah, roll spirit for me real quick.
Nightmare.
It's the one I'm good at. I think. How's a 4 sound? Do I get an invigorated +1 because I'm sleeping longer?
So
I'm well rested.
Yeah, well rested.
So he comes up to your bed, and you are deep asleep. What would you be dreaming of?
I think I am probably dreaming of the first time I ever had to patch a wound, which was not a good time because it was on the streets with a friend of mine who ended up jumping over a metal bar that went in and cut out the side of his entire body.
So as you're leaned over your friend and you're patching him up, and you go to roll him over, just like in the memory, he goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then you feel yourself hit the floor, and you see a very angry instructor, the same one that got you off the bus, actually.
Full Metal Jacket?
What's that? No, he goes, "Get the fuck up!"
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Give me like a second or two.
So he will grab you by the scruff of your shirt, in your pajamas or whatever you sleep in.
I almost said naked. But yeah, I said pajamas.
His chest hair.
Grab you by the
He
scruff.
grabs you by like the scruff of your undershirt there and drags you outside, and kind of throws you down into the water mud area that is, outside.
This is cold.
"Get in line."
Okay. All right, and I'm gonna get up and saunter into the line.
We tried.
He goes, all right. He goes, well, Delta Squad seems like they're having some trouble adjusting. So I think a team is only as weak. Fuck.
The team is a weak fuck.
The team is a weak fuck.
Full stop.
A team is only as strong as its weakest link. So I think it makes sense that the weakest link should lead the pack. So Delta Squad, you're going to begin marching, and you are going to lead the pack. Ready?
Yeah.
March! And then you guys kind of each go forward. As you go forward, you kind of start going, and you do a couple laps. We're going to kind of montage this part because boot camp's long. So for this whole first week, you're going to make a athletics roll.
Oh, okay.
Minus anything? Besides
Just
my
your
one?
fatigue.
Guys, this is a lot of work.
4.
3. No. It's gonna be better than a 3.
Crit fail. Sir.
It's gonna be
4.
8. I got an 8.
8.
I got an 8.
Okay. So
4.
pass the raise.
8.
Crit fail,
fail.
sir.
So as you, it's always Peter, man.
It is always me. I am the unlucky one.
So you're running, probably on like the third or fourth day of the conditioning week, and you see that Private Winkler there has, you have all your gear on. You're all geared up. You're running. Private Winkler doesn't seem to be doing too well. And as you are crawling over some of the obstacles that are about chest high because they're meant to simulate climbing in and out of trenches, Private Winkler takes a hard spill, falling behind the pack. So you will take a level of fatigue for your bumps and bruises. So you guys see as he hits the ground and the pack is now leaving him behind.
I'm going to turn around and, like, try to boost him over the wall.
Okay, so you can roll in athletics for me.
-1.
Sorry, I'm in the front of the line. I'm doing the best.
4.
And then you're going to roll in athletics with a +1 from his support roll.
Ooh, big numbers.
An 8.
So you fall behind, and you can almost feel the wrath of the drill sergeant coming down on you. And then you feel a hand kind of reach down and grab you as you and he goes, "Come on!" As you see,
Yeah, like, you don't want to get left behind.
Thank you.
he grabs the back of your shirt as you jump, and he kind of pulls you up over on top of because like I said, it's kind of like a simulated trench. And you guys run a little bit of extra distance to get back in formation, back in position, but you're back and running.
Got my
As you
second
march
wind.
forward. So from here, you will spend the first couple weeks, they're really all of basic, learning the fundamentals. So we're going to basically go through a couple roles just to simulate this because of A, time, and B, it's more interesting that way. So first,
Dramatic task.
you want to we could do a dramatic task.
That seems dramatic.
We could do a dramatic task that simulates the rest of boot camp.
You had to say something.
This is more fun.
I have a minus now.
I do too.
So is Michael.
I'm all good.
So
You're not in uniform, but you're all good.
Yeah, I'm all good. I've been running in my pajamas for the last week.
Every day is just like you just rolled.
Yeah.
You don't get up every day and like,
I want to prove that I can sleep in and be as efficient as all of you. I'm going to be that guy that slept in class and then still passed every test.
still pass the exam.
So this is the basics of this are, I'm going to say you're going to pick something to try and excel at. Your dramatic task, so everyone's familiar with how they work.
Yep.
It is 3 rounds to get 4 tokens. 4 tokens means you pass.
Yeah.
Cool. So we will start with you. What is you're trying to excel at, Mr. Anderson
Shooting.
there? So you're trying to show off your skills in shooting. Go ahead and give me a shooting roll. So as you hit the range,
-1 with my fatigue.
yeah, your fatigue's still there. As you hit the range on day X, you see as you're a little bit not quite accustomed to the Springfield.
4.
But with a 4, you do manage to dial it in. Not a great shot, not a bad shot. You do perform as expected.
That is so cool. We're there.
We are always there.
Help me.
We're always watching.
9.
So the 9, you are an excellent shot. You prove yourself to be a natural with the rifle, even though you've not really used it. You put shots on target. You're cleaning up. So you guys see this display of skill from him. That is somewhat impressive. Your fellow squad mates, you notice as far as the other half of Delta Squad goes, O'Connell, excellent shot. He seems like he does not miss, though he does take a little longer to shoot than most. He really aims his shots. The others perform as expected, more or less. So with the 9, you've gained 2 of your required tokens to proceed, because that's a success and a raise.
So
Private Radsmith.
That's
It
me.
is your choice. What do you wish to excel at?
I wish to excel at medicine.
Okay.
I wish to instruct people as the days go on to be better or more well trained to heal each other and help.
Okay. I don't know that you could teach,
Well, I'm showing them.
but you
That's-
could perform well for the task. You just take over the drill instructor's role.
I'm sure we get basic
6,
medic history.
So you're guiding others in their studies.
10.
Oh.
10. So, as expected, you perform fantastically in the pursuit of this. You are, as they do the basic trauma preparation, you have a soldier who is acting wounded. They've been giving an artificial wound. It's not like bleeding and anything. But they do complicate the challenge by soaking your hands in olive oil to make it simulate blood.
Oh, but I've been in the Charlotte
Chew.
I've been in the Chicago Slop, and I've had to perform operations with my hands in there.
Exactly. And also, you've actually dealt with blood, which is harder. So you
I don't know. Have you seen that Slop?
So you do teach them the paramedic tricks that I don't know because I'm not a paramedic to help them through it. So not only do you perform well for yourself, but you get your squad mates to also perform well. And Private Winkler, what is your choice?
I'm gonna help out during the formations, like battle, strategic side. Any classes on that?
So you're trying to, there's not classes, but you're trying to
yeah.
whip your squad into shape, make sure that you guys are always perfectly in formation. Go ahead and roll your battle skill. I assume.
Sammy, you gotta stand here. This won't work if you're not able to pin the enemy.
I'm not listening to Eugene.
Oh my god! Aren't you the one that fell?
A 4 is a basic success, which gives you another dramatic task token for a grand total of 5 on the first round. So you guys are doing great.
As long as you can get out of bed, we're gonna pass this.
So after
Sleep in?
your weeks of training, you guys go through the shooting. You either perform at or above expectation for everything. And you make it to the final week. As you're approached in the final week, and you know it's the final week, you've grown from the laughing stock who showed up late to the first day to the dorky kid who fell during the
Scrawny,
obstacle course.
Nerdy.
And you guys are kind of the pack leaders now. It seems like maybe the sergeant humiliating you and putting you at the front just inspired you to go further and to do better. As you guys are truly showing yourselves to be capable soldiers. McAllister has gotten less critical and more kind, more encouraging as you guys have continued this. And on the last day, or on the last week, he approaches you and he goes, "Okay, boys, it's time to put it to the test." As he turns, he hands you each a BB gun. He says, we will be moving to the training trench in a while. You will be pitted against another team. Your objective is to defeat this other team. This is a simulated combat practice. There are some rules. Obviously, if you are hit in a vital spot, you are to pretend you are dead. If you are hit in a vital spot and your medic can get to you, then he can attempt to, quote, heal you as if he was in true battle. And lastly, have fun. This is the best part of
Are
it.
headshots allowed?
Yes. Make
Cool.
sure you wear your glasses and helmet.
Cool.
I will not be joining you. This is to simulate you three and what you have learned, not my ability to lead. Understood?
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
He narrows his eyes at you.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, sorry. Yes, sir.
We'll get you there.
Yes.
All right, boys. 5 minutes, you'll be dropped in. We'll put you in the trench. You will hear, as you kind of gather up, you're going to hear the voice of Sergeant McAllister who goes, "All right, you're going to enter from this side of the trench, boys. Make me proud." And then you hear a bugle or a horn sound, which allows you to know that the simulation has begun, and you guys will be going first because they are going to start on hold. You can go in any order you would like since it's a team initiative.
Gotcha.
Did they explain the arena to us beforehand, or are we going in blind?
You're going in blind.
Okay. I don't see any contact with the enemy.
So Sammy's gonna take the lead and go to the next cover.
Okay. So Sammy rounds the corner, rifle in hand, as you guys are discussing what's the situation.
Do you see anyone over there?
He kind of mops his way through the trenches and runs up to the nearest barrel where he ducks kind of soldier style behind it.
Yeah, so I'll follow Sammy really close by.
So you guys follow Sammy as he approaches, as all three of you kind of huddle behind a table.
Something feels wrong about hiding behind the same cover, right?
Maybe.
Very much.
Probably should move.
Do we just keep going?
Yeah, until your turn's over.
I'm gonna move up to. He's gonna move up to the corner of the wall. Makes sense. Like not. He's not right before he rounds the corner.
So Sammy kind of like dips and hops over the cover.
Are we doing zones
Can I, like-
kind of idea, or are we
gonna-
actually doing pace?
I'm gonna peek.
Okay.
Like, how do I see him?
Yeah, roll in athletics.
10.
10. So you peek and you do see them raise their rifles, but you're able to react a little bit faster than them.
I'm gonna pop a shot at the first guy behind the just covered the sandbag. I'm assuming it.
Okay, roll your shooting.
4.
Okay, roll your damage.
14.
Okay, so you pop around the corner as you see one of them just kind of peek his head over a table, and you kind of quickly raise the rifle and fire, and you hear tink as it hits him in the head, and he goes, "I'm out."
Nice.
And so this man, there's one guy behind a table, like as soon as you turn the corner, as he kind of climbs his way out of the trench.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna follow up, and I'm gonna hop the cover and put my hand to the back of Sam and be like, "Good job, good shot."
So you kind of creep up behind Sammy, hugging along this horizontal wall just before you corner the trench.
If I can move over there, I'm gonna go left down the hallway.
So as you guys kind of stack up on the wall, you hear the footsteps behind you of Eugene kind of moving farther down the trench towards
Can I-
a barrel.
Aim just down as a hold action.
So not if you ran.
And it's a trench you're kind of dipped in, right? I think I see what he wants to do.
No, so no, I don't think aiming down the hall would do anything because you
Okay.
You ran,
Yeah,
right?
then that's fine.
Yeah. So it would do something, but you ran. Okay. So they will take their full turn now. So you hear kind of the stomping of footsteps as one of them kind of pops around the corner, and he runs and he slips in the mud and just falls like face first in the trench in front of you.
So Billy will look up and say, "Hey, are you okay, man?
Yeah, I'm good.
Do you need some help?"
No. Enemy team and all that.
You tapping out?
You just kind of hear shuffling farther down the trench. And our heroes will be going first.
Okay.
So I'm gonna.
If that's the case, I'm gonna take my do we have fake knives?
Hold on. You can go in any order, but just decide.
I'm going first.
Well,
I have a faster pace. I'm running forward faster.
okay. If you're running forward, that's fine.
That is how we'll solve this.
Okay, fair enough.
So I'm going to grab the soldier on the ground, and I'm going to drag him behind the cover, and then very kindly I'm going to hold. I'm basically going to try to disarm him and be like, stop moving.
So are you disqualifying him, or are you just...
Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of all of his stuff, and then
Okay, so you run out and grab him and drag him back. I don't see that being too much of an issue. And then you just gently press a knife to him, like it's fake, but
Well, I mean, I assume he had a gun in his head,
a
right?
BB gun.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll
he
just
dropped- yeah.
pick that up, throw it to the side, and be like, all right, you're out, go.
He's like, I guess I'm out, and he kind of climbs out of the trench.
That's one way to do it.
Sammy is gonna go run up around the corner to the sandbag. When he gets there, he's gonna pop a shot at the guy behind the barrel.
So Sammy rounds the corner, runs forward to a stack of sandbags inside the trench, where he slides behind cover,
He misses.
and he
Just a
just
3.
signature BB gun as he fires it, and the shot goes a little wide.
I'm gonna go up to the alley where Sammy's at. I'm like, shit, I'm not quite in range. I'm gonna roll my running die for a nice 2. So I'm gonna move over 1, and I'm gonna take a shot at him. So the -4 because he's half covered. Right?
Yeah, correct.
And I miss.
So another slapping of a spring goes wide as it
I move 1 back
flies down the trench.
behind Sammy. I'm like, Sammy, you got this.
Okay, and so it is their turn. So yeah, they will. There's one a little farther down the trench from Sammy behind a barrel. He will take his shot at Sammy, who has half cover, so he misses. And then the final soldier will emerge from the corner and pop a shot, missing as well. So you hear thunk, thunk, as 2 BBs kind of dig into the wood nearby. And our heroes go first with a 9 of hearts.
All right, so Billy, I'm going to sprint to the barrel cover that they're standing behind. I'm going to try to hide behind it.
All right, roll your run die for me.
Billy, that's not a good idea. As you're doing it.
4.
Okay, so
I think that makes it right to it. Oh,
so you have 12 total, right? 'Cause you're fleet-footed.
yep. So
fine.
that'll make it 2. So yeah, I'm gonna run and like slide behind the cover.
Yeah.
Treating this like a paintball game.
As Billy goes, he kind of rounds the corner as they pop
Billy.
off some more BBs in his direction, and he kind of slides up to the cover that they're using.
Sammy, you're going to help him.
I'm gonna, seeing him doing this, I'm gonna pop a shot at this guy,
Okay.
and if that lands, I want to bayonet charge that guy.
Okay, so you're doing a multi-action, so you have a -2 to each.
So so just a -3 altogether for this guy, right?
Yeah. So the first shot goes a little wide. Are you still committing to the charge?
Can I switch targets?
Sure.
I want to charge the guy in the open.
Okay.
So what would that be?
You would run up to him and make a fighting roll.
Okay. Minus anything?
So Sammy affixes
Minus
his...
anything?
Just your wounds. Well, -3 because you multi-actioned. So you run forward, and you kind of like swing your bayonet, but he's had the same basic training you have, so he pushes it aside with his rifle.
You see, Eugene will walk up to the sandbag that everyone else was at. I'm not going to run in there. And I'm going to aim at the guy to the right of Sammy.
Taking the aim action. Or are you just going to shoot him?
I'm just going to pop a shot. All right, I've been studying this. I know it. Shit. One on my attribute die. Fuck. As I'm going to re-roll that because I don't want to hit my ally.
Okay.
I know this. That's a 5.
All right, roll your damage.
16 damage.
Okay.
Yes.
So, thunk, as this guy goes, I'm out, and he
Yes, I did it, guys.
climbs his way out of the trench. So the last brave soul standing up to Sammy, he's going to try to bayonet him. For the second time this fight, someone crit fails. So he like swings, and his rifle kind of catches the side of the trench as he just kind of drops it, and he goes, "Yeah, I think we lost. Good game, guys. Good game."
Good job. I'm gonna like go up there and I'm gonna pat all of them on the back. Like, good job, guys.
This is not a game, guys. This is real.
So he
Good hustle. Good hustle.
So as you all exit the trench, Sergeant McAllister will congratulate you. He'll be like, "Good job, boys. I knew my team would do well."
Thanks, man.
Sir, it's sir.
Oh,
So,
sir, thank you.
The announcer goes, "All right, now we'll be having 1st and 4th squadrons from Omega team or whatever." And they climb into the trench.
They walk in and you hear like the sad sighs as they walk in. They're like, oh, I can't believe you got named whatever. Like,
What kind of name is whatever squad?
yeah. It's like they're setting us up to die or something.
And so the rest of Delta team will approach you, or Delta squad, and they're like, "Good job, guys. That was..."
Where are you guys? Weren't you supposed to be a part of this?
No, we're different teams.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Misunderstood.
They're also a higher rank than us.
Well, only one of them, but yeah.
One of them's a higher rank than us.
Oh,
And they go, "Yeah,
Yeah, I'd rather have you on my team.
well done." Yeah. And so Private O'Connell's like, "I guess that was a good shot."
Thank you.
wanna
One day,
talk about how I disarmed a man in the pit?
one day I'll be at your skill.
You mercy killed someone.
Good luck.
You
I know.
mercified.
I pacified him, and then tapped him on his face, and then told him to leave.
Just like the
Sergeant
that does
McAllister
well.
approaches you. And he he was already here. He goes, "All right, boys, clean your gear, get ready, head back to the barracks." And on your way out, you, Billy,
Hi.
that sergeant who's been yelling at you repeatedly, approaches.
Oh, hi.
And he looks down his nose at you, and he goes, "What were you doing in the trench there?"
What part?
The only part you did.
Well, I did 2 things. Well, I did 3 things actually, depending on how you look at it.
You know what I'm talking about.
Well, I wanted to approach the soldiers so they take fire from my friends.
Before that.
Oh, you mean I disarmed the soldier? Right.
Why?
Well, because he was down and I wasn't. He was out. Like we had him to rights, right? So like, it's better to disarm him and take him hostage.
He kind of looks down his nose at you some more. Now, what about his allies? How do you know it wasn't a trick?
Well, how do I know that his allies would what?
How do you know they wouldn't gun you down as soon as you stepped out?
Well, that's why I dragged him behind the cover so I wouldn't have to take bullets. I just assumed that would be the best course of action to detain him.
And he kind of walks away.
Pinocchio.
You think that's good? I don't think he
I
likes
think so.
you.
Well, I think it's good. The man lived.
I think.
Oh,
it's-
no.
They were
man,
living, they were living
him,
either way.
you.
Oh well, I mean he's okay. I mean he's trying to do his job. I think.
I ain't trying to sound mean, but in war, you can't be doing that.
I'm not even trying to sound mean, but like turn your head towards the mic.
I ain't trying to sound mean, but like in war, you can't be doing that.
I don't know.
What happens if you're in a situation where you pull him in cover, get rid of his weapon, then he just pulls out a knife and gets you?
I don't know. Wikipedia says there's a lot of people that survive wars without killing people and only detaining people.
I don't think that's happened yet.
Shit.
The encyclopedia.
The
The
encyclopedia.
Wikicyclopedia.
The wiki.
The wiki.
The wiki book.
Let's ask our history friend here.
But,
How true is that?
But yeah, no, you're.
I don't have my encyclopedia on me.
You have a point, but like, what was the point of shooting someone who was laying on the ground? He lost.
He lost, true.
We do
But
take.
you have to look at it like, for point of view, yes, that was our friends. But when you're in the field, the enemy is not going to treat you the same.
I disagree. That man had a chance at life. You would take his life instead of just giving him the chance to be free.
But would he do the same
couldn't
for
have
you?
hurt us.
Would
He
he-
took all the weapons. What was he gonna do? We had Eugene standing in the back who would have amply shot him if he tried anything else. I disarmed him, let him go free if he wasn't going to do anything else. You were focused on the other thing. That was the call. That's what was made.
True, but you have to think of it like this.
No, I'm
the
not gonna-
roles were switched. Would he have done the same?
Doesn't matter.
Private Anderson, as your commanding officer approaches Sergeant McAllister, he goes, "Now, I will not accept insubordination. You're a private like everyone else. Judgment calls get made in the heat of battle. He has as much right to make a decision as you do. Understood?"
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fuck off. I mean, sorry. Thank you, sir.
We are allowed to take war prisoners.
Don't be disrespectful.
Sorry, fuck. I mean,
Right, sir?
Correct.
Yes.
Head back to the barracks. You rest for 3 days. You don't have to get up.
wake
You
up.
Don't
We
have
don't
to,
wake up for 3 days.
You don't have to run. You get to relax. And
You think the
I
guy.
then,
think I'm gonna run anyway.
good for you. Good for
Thank
you.
you.
If you have fatigue, it'll go away.
Do I
And
gain fatigue?
no, you're good. You're good.
I want to make it harder.
Sorry. All right,
So, 2 days before what you would know to be the end of boot camp, your commanding officer, Sergeant McAllister, comes up to you and he goes, "Okay, give me names. I'm inviting people for your ceremony."
I forget his last name, but Ben Stiller.
Okay.
That's an interesting name. My mom and dad.
I need their names, son.
I'm sorry. That's nervous. Walter Winkler and Sarah Winkler.
That's really funny because I named them and didn't tell you.
Is it the
And
same
I
girl?
also named the dad Walter.
Oh, at least we got one of them right.
Of course, the deadbeat dad is Walter.
You didn't give me my parents' names.
Oh wait, no, that was sorry, that was for.
You get
Thomas's
to make up
character.
your own.
He had the bad dad. Sorry, my bad. I
So yeah,
mistaken.
so
Sorry, what was my
Doctor
mom's name again?
Dr. Walter Winkler and Sarah Winkler. Okay. And he takes your address down from your ID card.
Benny.
wanna
For
give him-
coincidence.
You want me to give him a
Coincidence.
Benny for the coincidence? There you go.
I've gained an extra roll.
And for you, he sends it to your neighbor.
Mr. and Mrs. Anderson, my
And
parents.
so he takes your address from your thing. He goes, "Okay." He goes, "You will have 2 days to get your stuff together, get ready. Graduation ceremony is in 2 days. I suggest you keep up with your fitness, although it is no longer going to be forced upon you.
Oh, thank God.
So enjoy sleeping in. It'll be it for a while." And he exits the barracks.
You guys like baseball?
No.
What?
Baseball.
Baseball existed back then.
Not in the one street town.
Do you want to play a game?
You mean stick and ball?
Well, let's-
Stick ball. In the
You
backyard.
mean stick and hoop?
I believe it's called ball and bat.
We had
whatever
we
you
had
call
we
it.
had cow rustling. That was pretty fun.
You know. them
So
New York
your
Yankees?
other squad mates come over as they join you.
And the first thing we say is, "You hear ball, bat."
Yeah, I've seen baseball.
baseball.
What is this baseball?
He goes up to you. The corporal comes up and goes, "Well, you did it. I wasn't sure about you, Winkler. I thought you were going to fail for sure, especially after
I'm
that
full
tumble
of
you
surprises.
took on the obstacle course."
Yeah, I started to fill out my shirt better.
He looks at your like not really filled out shirt and he goes, "Right." And
It maybe shrunk.
And now I'm jacked, so like. It's,
well, you were already built, yeah. So he goes, "And you did a good job, man."
I've got the muscle. I slap my arm.
You wake up in the morning.
He turns to Private Anderson. He goes, "You've kind of scared me ever since you did 887 push-ups or whatever in the middle of the cafeteria on your first day."
You really did all those?
Yeah. So then, like, a guy behind you is like, "We've all heard the story of the legendary Private Anderson."
I haven't. I
You
guess I am now.
walked in and strutted up to the commander, said, "I can do more push-ups than you," and then did.
Let's not start rumors now.
Oh, he did.
That's not what happened at all.
I'm gonna ask.
It was a
Sergeant.
mistake that I got punished for.
He goes, "So the corporal goes, 'Well done, boys. Looks like we will all get to spend a lot more time together.'"
So that's slop, though, huh?
The Chicago slop always gives me a headache.
Please keep that in.
I'm going to keep it all.
I hope you do.
I didn't think that was a good joke. I'm keeping it. That was an objectively good joke.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyone who disagrees with me can like and subscribe and leave a comment to
About
tell
how
me
they disagree with him.
Tell us in the comments how you
Scene.
disagree.
So, a few days pass. You guys are finally rested and recovered. And you're in your graduation ceremony. There's bugles, there's all that crap. And then Captain Miller, your commanding officer, takes the stage. And he goes, "Today, we all gather here to mark an extraordinary moment in the lives of these brave men that stand before us. We have had the pleasure of witnessing their transformation from raw recruits to hardened soldiers ready to face this war. Throughout the course of this journey, we have witnessed the forging of unbreakable bonds, the honing of skills, and the growth of an indomitable spirit. At each step of the way, these soldiers have shown unwavering dedication, resilience, and a profound sense of duty to their comrades and their nation. We began this journey with a shared vision. A vision to defend our homeland and protect our loved ones. We knew the road ahead would be paved with challenges and sacrifices. But it is precisely through those challenges that we have discovered our true selves and our inner strength. These soldiers have faced grueling and mental tests, endured sleepless nights, and been pushed beyond the boundaries of their perceived limitations. They have come to understand the true meaning of discipline, perseverance, and selflessness. They are the guardians of freedoms, and they will be beacons of hope in a world marred by conflict. As they graduate today, let us reflect on the lessons learned and the values instilled in their hearts. They have learned that the strength of an army lies not solely in the might of its weaponry, but in the spirit of brotherhood that binds them together. They have learned that victory is not solely measured by territorial gains, but by the lives they touch, the compassion they show, and the difference they make in the lives of others. I would be remiss if I did not take a moment to recognize among my own soldiers a team of the Delta Squadron, led by Sergeant McAllister, who I have witnessed and have read reports has grown extraordinarily. Would you please stand? And so you guys kind of raise from your seats, I assume, or you can sit there if you want.
Ecstatically jump
As
out
soon
of
as
my
you stand
seat.
up, you call a whole bunch of different people.
He goes, "On the first day, this ragtag team of draftees and one recruit, one volunteer, failed to even make it out of their bed on time. They stumbled in obstacle courses. They struggled. But they learned from one another how to be better. They learned to work as a unit, and they graduated with the highest score out of any squad or team in the entirety of this boot camp. They truly embody what it means to become a soldier, and I am proud to call them my soldiers. So please, everybody give them a round of applause.
Help.
It is with a great honor that I bestow upon all of you the rank of private, which represents your official entry into the United States Army. Take this time to speak with your friends and loved ones who have gathered with you to celebrate. As soon We will move across the pond to help our allies in this time of need. Thank you. And with that, he'll step down. You all kind of form a line, and as you approach the front, there are several officers. The sergeant who has been yelling at Billy most of this time, looks you in the eyes as you approach, and he pins your private sting on there. He gives you your patch to sew into your uniform. And lastly, we come to you, Billy. He looks you in the eye. He has your pin in his his right hand and his thing in the left hand, and he has you there, and he pins your thing on, and he takes your patch, and he hands it to you.
Okay, I'll take it.
And as you take it, he goes, son, I know I've been hard on you, but I want you to understand that you're a special kind of soldier. Never lose that. And he puts his hand on your shoulder, gently, and he nods in respect.
Thank you.
And then, you walk off as he greets the next soldier.
And then as I walk away, I'll say, sir.
Benny.
Yeah, so you can all have a moment.
Wait, before that moment, Benny,
Me.
Benny,
For who? You?
Benny,
You can't call for your own Benny.
I called it.
Benny, for Thomas.
For what?
What I do?
Thomas did a great job
Of doing what?
of getting this Benny that you're about to hand him. Okay.
So,
Players.
as you all kind of gather back with your sergeant, you return to the barracks. Sergeant McAllister approaches his bunk, which is next to yours. He takes off his nice fancy hat, and he sits down, and he goes, when I met you all, you were just a bunch of fresh-faced doughboys. You lacked refinement, and if I'm honest, potential. But I would say now that I think we're a team. You three have forged together. You understand each other. You know how to work with each other's weaknesses. I think that's valuable in its own way. I'm proud of you all. And he takes a sit. And He takes a seat. And from his trunk, he pulls out a nice bottle of whiskey because it's not prohibition yet. And he pulls out a bunch of tumbler glasses. And he'll offer each of you a drink. Pours it out. And he'll raise it up, and he goes, well, to glory, boys.
To glory.
I haven't done
May we
this
find
yet.
it or die trying. And then he shots his drink.
Sammy's gonna
I hold my
follow him,
nose.
but being that Sammy's never
Drank and is 17.
is 17 and never drank, he's gonna try his hardest to
Not make a face.
not make a face, more of like not make a face and like
Bigger.
act like he's done it before.
That was a success. Benny.
14.
14.
Wait, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15.
15. So you may not have had it, but you know what it smells like, and you've been close. So you're fine. Not even a flinch
So can I go? So this is still our ceremony, right?
at this moment.
Like we're all celebrating still,
Yeah.
right? So is my roommate Ben? Did he show up and is he still
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna walk over to Ben, and I'm gonna look him
Wow,
in the
look
eyes.
at you, man. You're really soldier. You're
I
ripped.
have something for you, Ben.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pull out the sheet of paper that I took on day one before all this started. I'm gonna fold it from the Museum of Not So Natural History, the bill, and I'm gonna hand it to him. And be like, I think it's overdue.
This is when I opened that case, isn't it?
And then I'm gonna walk away. I'm sorry, Ben.
Who's D?
I should have told you sooner.
Oh, who's D?
I'm gone. I left.
Sammy's probably gonna go up to his parents.
I'll never forget you.
If his parents are there.
So mom and dad are there. Dad's even in his cowboy tie. You know, that little thin
Or
one.
like, is it
that-
who's
bolo?
all there? Is it just his parents,
yeah,
or
the
is
bolo.
actually his uncle that he works for come along?
Yeah, his uncle's there. If you
He's
invite
gonna
him.
go up to him.
And so your uncle comes up and he goes, well, shit. If it isn't my nephew, the soldier.
Yeah, looks like you might have to find a new farmhand for a bit.
Yeah, I figured as much. Luckily, there's plenty of middle schoolers in town, so
Yeah, well, it's for the greater good.
at ripe age of 12, they ought to have been working already to help out with the family.
I'm gonna go to his.
Look good, boy.
Thank you.
Your mom gives you a big old hug. And your dad goes, well, messenger, huh?
Yep.
He goes, I don't know about that, boy.
Yeah, you got it.
Well, uniform looks good on you anyway.
Thank
Make
you.
sure you come back in one piece. And he offers you a handshake, as all emotionally distant fathers do.
I'll take it.
So you shake his hand, and there's a respect behind it.
A bad father respect, but respect nonetheless.
Yeah. Shitty, emotionally
like, well,
stunted dad respect.
He's like, well, but I'll let him go because I was gonna introduce him to the people.
Yeah, we'll get that later.
Ma,
Eugene, how you doing, boy? And he kind of comes up
I've gained some muscle.
a little bit.
I love filling it out.
No, I didn't.
He also slipped in the mud in the obstacle court.
I'm glad you're all right. And your mom's like, did you get hurt? Were they mean to you?
At first, but I think they respect me now.
We don't.
The dad goes, I should have a word with, or the mom goes, I'll have to have a word with them.
Ma, please.
It'll make it worse.
It will make it worse.
It won't.
So your father goes, got you going, huh?
Even though the symbol it's not really a good luck charm, I still kept it as a good luck charm. As
I'm
the
glad,
Napoleon
he
statue,
says.
Paul.
Because I'm glad. I thought you left it in your room, if I'm honest. I was going to give it to you a second time now.
I feel what I understand why you gave it to me, I think.
Good. I'm glad, son.
Sir.
He goes, well, I don't have much to give you, being I can't give you much.
I can hand the statue back and you give it back to me if you want.
You can have that, but I also got you this. And he takes out a gold pocket watch.
That's sad.
He gives you a gold pocket
What the
watch.
hell is that? I open it.
Yeah, it's brand new, solid gold. He goes, take it with you.
Had a couple names engraved in it.
I got it at the discount.
I got it at the bargain bin. No.
I got it off a course.
I found it off the course on the way in.
Wow, this is a lot more useful. Thanks,
He
Dad.
goes, yeah. He goes, it's got a compass. It's
Wow, it's fancy for back.
yeah, it's the nicest one I could find. And in the inside, it says, to my son, may you lead the armies.
I'll make you proud, sir.
I know. You already have, boy. And with that, your dad gives you
Teared up.
a hug because he's not emotionally detached.
Thank you, emotionally attached dad.
Sam was just like,
Thank God you're not a piece of shit.
Sammy was just like, oh man, I want a hug from my dad.
I'll walk up to Sammy and I'll give him a hug. I'll be like, it's okay, son.
Wait, what?
So with that, yeah, you will all have kind of your last to do before you.
Did Billy and Jimmy, did they get enlisted?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Not you, my friend Billy at home.
No, they didn't get enlisted.
As a matter of fact, one of them's here.
He
Really?
died in training. No.
Oh,
Jimmy,
hey! I wanted to come see.
I'm sorry you didn't get the letter.
Oh, it's okay. I forged my own to pretend like I had it, but they said they wouldn't accept it.
They don't take liars in the army.
It turns out that my name being Kill 'em all Z's, with lots,
ZZX.
yeah, ZZX kills them
I-
all.
I-
They don't accept
You're not
that.
supposed to use our battleship gamer tag.
I thought that maybe that it would look cool for them, but they weren't into it. So,
When I'm higher in rank soon,
will you hire me?
I don't know if it's higher, but I'll put you underneath I'll put a good word in for you.
Yeah, we can lead it together.
Where's Billy?
Actually, I've always found that I'm better at leading than you are. So I figured maybe this is for the best.
Hold on.
And plus, I live with your family now.
I
So
have this
You
now.
hear the other voice of Billy, your friend, because that was Jimmy. He goes, "Yeah, have you ever seen his battle game strategy?
I mean, he puts them all in one fucking corner. Like how
He
does
just puts it. It's every time in Risk. He just goes to Australia. He
Yeah.
swears that it's good,
And he
then he
loses.
loses every time.
Well, did you ever play Battleship with him? He puts all his ships on the side and
Sammy's
goes,
gonna
"No,
walk
no,
up and
no,
like-
it didn't hit me.
It's a
it
wooden
still hits
set.
you."
Like, as this happens, Sammy's gonna walk up and just slowly stop backing up. Like,
The battleships from back then,
just
it's
like-
pirate ships that aim at each other
Like,
with
he just
cannons.
does-
When we played Fort the one time in our room,
At
Yeah, when we
night-
were like 6.
Yeah.
he
At
broke
night-
all the rules as
I-
we made them up. He kept making up new ones as we were going.
I know we had to hold him down and tickle him for an hour.
I'm telling you,
And then that weird uncle joined in.
Yeah, honestly, it was really strange.
Sammy
telling
just
you, if we
walks
stack
away.
the
Eugene,
pillows,
Eugene,
when we
you
stack
came
the,
with the
pill- we stack the pillows at the top of the little canopy.
See, here
we
he
have.
goes again. You're gonna tell the Germans your own made up rules too.
Eugene, I'm sorry they even put you in here. They should have taken me. I'm gonna
missed
go
you.
complain
Come
to
on,
your
Jimmy.
officer.
Yeah,
let's go, Billy.
Let's
I
go.
missed you guys.
So they walk away.
I'm gonna walk back
I kind
up.
of wave.
They don't wave back.
No.
One of them waves back.
Yeah, Billy
I
waves.
walk
Jimmy,
up.
Jimmy doesn't.
I'll walk
Jimmy means well.
up. What was that?
Oh, well, my brother's from home, I guess, but you guys are my new brothers. Put it in there. Good job.
Shake
gonna
his hand.
shake
You lose
Sammy.
the nerd voice.
I've
I'm
evolved.
Evolved.
I believe that's where we're going to wrap up too.
Help me.
As the last thing you guys encounter,
Well, okay.
yep.
So
last
Sam-
thing you encounter is you guys gather your things and you are put on a nice ship. And after months of sailing, you see the French countryside as you are preparing to dock. And that's
Shreds.
Wee wee.
torn to shreds. And that is where we will end. Thank you for watching, everybody. As Michael reiterated at least twice, if you enjoyed the episode, give us a heart on Spotify, a 5-star on Apple Podcast, a like and subscribe on YouTube, and for the Savage Worlds community that hopefully came from Reddit, let us know what you think. Leave us a comment either on the post itself or on the YouTube video. We are particularly interested in feedback because this is new to us. So thank you, and we will see you next time as we finally land in the great old nation of France.